Ooh, Xavier Rehayem. Okay. 1878. Oh boy, this is gonna take a long time to get through. The tale of my daughter Gwen is sad and sorrowful fable. I refer to it as a fable, for my mortal brain cannot begin to comprehend the horror that I have witnessed in this home. So I cast what I have witnessed into my memory under the illusion of a morbid fable. That's a good coping skill. Right there, yeah. My family moved to this house in solitude last summer to escape the perils of society, and to mourn the unfortunate death of my wife Julia. Tuberculosis claimed her life, and only months before my move to this place, hindsight is a beautiful thing. And knowing what I know now, it was a move that I would never make again. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, isn't it? You know, being able to look there and, admire your own ass. It's nice. The days rolled onwards towards inevitability, and my daughter and I continued our simple existence. Being a scholar myself, I enjoyed passing the time reading the literature left here by the previous owner of this, I want to say attached house, but that doesn't make any sense. It's hard to make it out with this weird cursive-y, loopy handwriting. Oh, detached house. I guess that makes a little more sense. Many of the fireworks. Ooh! Oh no, fireworks. Oh, I get it here. Oh, I thought we had fireworks. That would have been cool. Fireworks kept here provided to very old and of extreme interest to me. Some works proved very challenging indeed, and very hard to translate. Translating books in an old house in the middle of the forest is never a good thing. Haven't you ever seen Evil Dead? Anyway, the library provided here has an abundance of books flavored with subjects focused on the occult. One particular book caught my... Oh, excuse me. One particular burp that caught my interest was Exmortis, which loosely translated means the dead. Duh. It was for a moment here that I finished translating the book from an unusual dialect of ancient Aramaic? I read the final English translation that our troubles began here. You never read the book! The only worst thing you could do is read the book on a recording so some idiot could play it again and unleash it again. These people have never seen Dead Alive. Not Dead Alive. That's a whole other gore fest. Evil Dead. Or Evil Dead 2. God, what I'd give for a chainsaw. My daughter, the only other occupant of this house, grew distant from me, and over the course of the following week she developed rageful tendencies toward my parentage, and she started having seizures, which worried me immensely at the time. But these unusual events didn't limit themselves to my daughter. Oh no. The dishes also began yelling at me, and the soap, whenever I picked it up, I'd hear a roar as if a demon had opened. I began having nightmares so ghastly that I dared not recall them. Suffice to say, I have concerned with the disturbing change in both my daughter and I. So, after reading the book, your daughter goes through her first menstrual state, and you start having horrible wet dreams. Yeah, I'd say that's evil. After the first week of the hallucinations began, I recall hearing noises and whispering, as well as sighting movement in my perceptual vision. It's just the daughter's PMS, I'm telling you. I constantly had a feeling that someone was in the room with me, but upon searching, it was clear that I was alone. My dear Gwen, however, became less active all of a sudden. Like I said, the period. She was almost catatonic at stages, not reacting to conversation or physical prompting. She would just shuffle her petite form around the house and stare blankly through me whenever I confronted her. She was just give her a Midol. It was shortly after the month of this behavior that I began to notice certain physical changes in my daughter. Do I even have to say it at this point? She seemed withered in her appearance. So, she has her first period. She starts freaking out because she has her period, and now she apparently becomes anorexic. Dude, this isn't evil. This is the evil of nature. but the face would at times, her face at times seemed bloated and twisted. I don't even see any point in going any further into this joke. It wasn't until my fleeting moment in that day that my hope was crushed forever. My darling Gwen broke free from me, this new personality that she had gripped her for months. She screamed and cried for me to help her, to save her from the monsters that now plagued her body. Honey, everybody goes through it. It's just part of being a woman. All that I could do was hold her in my arms and assure her that I would free her from her prison she was trapped in, and then she was lost forever. The Gwen that I had loved resurfaced for only a minute, but to me that was enough to realize what had to be done. That night, while I slept into her room, I crept in with a dagger in hand and plunged it deep into her heart. Ugh. He even goes into detail about it. She writhed and convulsed in agony, and all I could do was just watch and sob. In her dying breath, Gwen locks her eyes with me and spoke, "Thank you, Daddy." Dude! This guy seriously needs to learn some more new parenting skills. I sit here now, recounting the events that led to this point in my insanity. Well, at least you acknowledge it. That's the first step. My wife and daughter are taken from me over the past 6 months, leaving me with nothing but their memories and this house. But I fear that I am now the target of invisible forces that reside within these walls. I am trapped, unable to venture past the front door or the cellar to hatch the... What? Well, I need to read this again. I am trapped, unable to venture past the forest... Oh, for the front door. The thing's so curvy, it looked like an S. The front door or the cellar hatch to the surrounding forest. I hear voices from all around me, circling me for my actions. Occasionally I see her, my Gwen, standing in the hallway looking straight through me as she used to. But I hope that I have saved her soul, but after seeing the apparition on a daily basis, I fear that I have done nothing aside from my... Nothing if aided my tormentors. Oh, okay. I now spend my days reading, researching, and translating the library. Why are you going into this anymore? If you release the Book of Evil, just stop reading it! That's it! I now spend my days reading and researching and translating the library. I feel that it's my purpose in this house. May God have mercy on my soul, and may death soon relieve me from the guilt I carry. Jeez. Books filled, more books. Something is very unnerving about this statue. Well, I don't know. It seems to be blinking at me. The word remember is smeared in someone's blood on the wall. No, it isn't. I'm looking at this thing in perfect quality. That does not look anything like remember. It looks like splotch. Whatever. No electricity. Fireplace hasn't been used for years. Bookshelves filled with books. Bookshelves of miscellaneous books. Book here doesn't quite seem to fit in. Oh, that's one I grabbed. Just randomly clicking over here and I just managed to click the magic book. Okay, so nothing really to do in here, aside from a severed arm. Let's try the other door. This one should lead to the kitchen? Yes, it does. I remember now. And for those of you who were playing around before, we should remember what's in here. Show us what's in the box! It's a head in the box! Oh, I love the head in the box. The symbol looks to have been smeared on his forehead. Now, a real high-class serial killer of any stature would have carved it into his forehead instead of, just smearing it around. I love the dope expression on this guy's eyes. Good clean cut on the head, though. Very nice. Only a little bit of a tear there. Very nice. Probably serrated blade, I think. Okay, so there's the head in the box. Appears to be a fresh kill. And I remember playing something through this game before. I only played up to the head in the box, so I really don't know. That whole thing I saw back there was totally new to me. So... Oh, and we're in a study now. Nothing interesting on the coffee table except for the book. Bloodstains on the chair, bloodstains in the carpet, and a tattered diary. Another book? Jeez, when I started playing this game, I didn't realize I'd be having to do mountains of reading. Oh god, here we go again. An unusual eventful day today. I stumbled across an unusual find whilst hunting for deer in the remote wilderness. Stalking a wild deer into a clearing, you can only imagine my surprise to find a house. An old, seemingly abandoned, but still standing strong, and interesting find. One that certainly has me curious.